Hello, friends, and welcome to your first League One Ontario match of the week for the ladies. Regular season. We brought you action last week from the League One Ontario Cup, but this is the real deal. We're into the real meat and potatoes of the regular season starting today. We've got a young, up-and-coming FC London side here hosting the perennial powerhouse that is the Woodbridge Strikers. Woodbridge with a couple of strong additions to this side, with Nicole Mayu joining the back line with Maria Pavetta in the middle. We'll see what they can do with the new rules that have been put in place, making League One Ontario a much younger league here, with all teams having to find 2,000 minutes for U20 players and 7,250 minutes for players under the age of 23. And we know that this Woodbridge Strikers side have a very strong core of mature players who are battle tested within this league. You've got your Jessica Lisi's, your April Symes, your Kat Rogerses in the squad, who bring a ton of experience, but they're going to have to see their minutes managed. On the other side, a young up-and-coming squad here, led by the consummate leader in Julia Bonatti. We'll see what they can get done. They had a really good run last season as they ended up losing out to the NDC Ontario squad in the League One Ontario playoffs last year, but they gave them a run for their money, had a very good showing. It's always tough with all the travel that's involved for this London side when they do go on the road. 2-hour bus ride almost no matter where they go. Charlotte Cromack starting on the bench today for FC London. She was off to Portugal after the season ended last year for a bit of a trial and an adventure over there. Young 16, now 17-year-old talent who came over from TSS Rovers Academy in British Columbia and had a fantastic year with FC London. One of the more dominant players. My vote for Young Player of the Year. But we'll see what happens. She's starting on the bench today because she has been away couple days this week training with the provincial Excel team. She'll probably get into the match a little bit later on. Fantastic to see Vanessa Fiore back in goal for Woodbridge here tonight. She suffered all season long last year with injury, and she's been such a stalwart here in League One Ontario, and we'll see if she's ready to get back at it in full match condition here. Starting in the back for Woodbridge, we've got the aforementioned Vanessa Fiore in goal. Behind her, or in front of her rather, that will be 23-year-old Christina Corrado, with Maria Pavetta in the midfield. Jessica Lisi up front. We're kind of random here in where we're going to be listing off players. Jada Hilton Paleta will be in the back alongside Nicole Mayu. April Syme wearing the captain's armband today in the middle of the pitch. She and Kat Rogers, and Nicole Mayu for that matter, were participating in the National Futsal Championship only mere weeks ago. Finished in third place for that. This is Samantha Murphy making a push up the pitch, and ball turned over here. London turning things around, working the ball out of the back. Still not done going through the lineup here. Sorry about that, guys. Ida Maselli is going to be starting on the back line here for Woodbridge as well, and it'll be Maya Fisher rounding out the starting lineup in the midfield. Fisher, who's been very impressive, certainly last year with North Toronto at youth levels and with their reserve league team. Played in the championship final against Vaughan with North Toronto. We'll see what she can do. A fantastic presence on the ball. Over on the other side of the pitch, we'll go through your FC London lineup with Cassidy Jocelyn starting in goal. Julia Benatti wearing the captain's armband, as I mentioned before. Lindsay Braithwaite's on the back line. Bardwitzky. Don't know where I got that from. 21-year-old defender. Wearing jersey number 6. Jade Abreu in the midfield. Wearing number 9. It'll be number 10. Brianna Caldwell, 21-year-old defender. Avery Thomas on the back line as well, wearing number 12. Allie Rowe, number 16, up front. Kimmy Liu up front, leading the charge, wearing number 17. Robin Scott, number 21 on the back line. And then Gabby Kohut up front, wearing number 22. Cheyenne Bowers got 28 on her back in the midfield. And that rounds out your starting lineup. Mayu on the ball now, patiently trying to dictate play. A veteran presence here in League One Ontario. Played for Burlington last season, Blue Devils FC the year before that. Fantastic player at the NCAA level in her collegiate days. London working their way into the box. Ball shot in towards goal, and that's not going to cause any trouble for Vanessa Fiore. May gets it to Symes. Symes in a bit of trouble as she's being closed down quickly. And the ball is going to go out for another Woodbridge goal kick. You can hear FC London head coach Garrett Peters, barking out orders to his squad here expectations will be high for this club after the results from last season. Just talking about Nicole Mayo, who's going to be a very important piece of the puzzle here for Woodbridge. Played her NCAA soccer at West Virginia back in the day. An accomplished marathoner off the pitch. Ran Boston in 2023, which is pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Ball in towards Fiore's goal, and she'll watch that one whistle wide of the net.
Just a reminder to the spectators, there will be no throwing of the players onto the field. Thank you.
Let's get it in.
Announcement there about the flares being thrown onto the field. Exciting times here in London. Apparently the men's game had flares thrown out onto the pitch. Here we'll see how the disciplinary committee deals with that moving forward. Take this moment to acknowledge the following League One Ontario partners: CIBC, the lead partner for Canada Soccer, the Canadian Premier League, and League One Canada. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel. And let us know in the comments what your favorite flavor of Gatorade is. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm a fan of the classic yellow lemon, but I'm pretty basic myself. I'd also like to thank the Cruyff Institute, educating athletes, sport, and business professionals to become leaders in sport management. Derby Star, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball of League One Ontario. Macron, work hard, play harder. Vibrant Performance, Canada's most trusted brand for automotive race parts and accessories. And the Canadian Premier League, where Canadian soccer takes flight. Last but not least, the fine folks at One Soccer. One Soccer is the home of soccer in Canada. Join the movement and watch every CPL and Canadian national team match from any device. And last but not least, Ontario Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire, and unite. And that should pay the electrical bill here today. We'll get you right back to the action, talking about this match as the ball's pumped in. Kat Rogers to put the ball back into play again here quickly. Hilton Paletta puts the ball in towards goal. Lacey unable to pop that into the net. Lacey, one of the top scorers in the league last season. Mayu on the ball now, turning, playing it back out to her left. Nicole Mayu on it. Corrado with plenty of time, turns and gives it back to Mayu. Mayu getting it up to Hilton Paletta. Or Palaya, rather that. We're still working out the kinks here, guys. Early on in the season. Again, this is your League One Ontario Premier Division Match of the Week for Week 1. And it is going to be a great game. There's Jess Lacey pushing a ball up, and rushing on to that is Samantha Murphy. Murphy, another player with some NCAA experience, coming back to League One Ontario. Got Rogers taken down. Rogers puts the ball into play quickly. Lacey brushed off any attempt to get onto the end of that cross. Samantha Murphy, another interesting pickup here for this Woodbridge Strikers side. Played for the University of Memphis Tigers, an absolute powerhouse south of the border. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but you can find a fair few players who've made their way onto the women's national team who've been a part of that club. They've done, or school rather, not so much a club, but they've done a fantastic job of recruiting here north of the border. Helping Palea with it now. Back to Corrado. Rogers with the cheeky back heel. Pass is blocked, and it'll be London working their way back up the pitch. This is Benatti with a shot in towards goal, and near miss there for the FC London captain. Mayu collects. This is Ida Maselli over the ball right now, putting it into the box. Coming out to collect is Cassidy Jocelyn. 15th minute of play here, still 0-0. This is Benatti on it. Cutting back onto her dominant right foot. Benatti into the middle. How is Bauer pushing it out to Avery Thomas? Ball into the box. Mayu heads that clear. Boyer with it again. This is Benatti on it now. Quick 1-2. Benatti gets it back and she cuts into the box. Mayu gets a foot in. Dangerous position. London still with it, but it's finally cleared by Fisher. Ball pushed out wide to Bardwitzki. So Debreu put that ball into the box, and Fiore calmly holds on to the ball and gets it out wide to Maselli. And this is Fisher with it now, finding Cat Rogers. Rogers, lovely ball outside of the boot. Maselli charging in on it, and it's pushed back to the keeper, Cassidy Jocelyn. This is Abreu cutting into the middle. She's found Ali Rowe. Rowe is trying to slip it through for Gabby Kohut, but just a bit too far in front of her. Benatti giving chase, but Mayu able to get it out to Syme. This is Poveda. Poveda's clearance blocked by Abreu. Abreu again blocking another clearance, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. This is Fisher going back to Mayu. See London taking their time, getting it out of the back. Abreu on it still. Murphy on her. Murphy gets a foot in and breaks that up. Cat Rogers has her pass blocked. Abreu going back. So I was mentioning Samantha Murphy played for Memphis. So did Jessica Lisi, who also played briefly at West Virginia as well. So connection there with Murphy and Mayu, although Mayu's a little bit older. Player I was certainly thinking of. Great play there by Mayu to get a foot in and clear. specifically from the University of Memphis, that's on the women's national team presently, is Clarissa Larisi, whose career at Memphis was absolutely incredible. Murphy brings it down. Or that's Lisi, rather, that. So some of the other players that have featured for that University of Memphis women's soccer team include Marie Lavisseur, the aforementioned Clarissa Larisi, Tanya Boychuk, and Diamond Simpson. So you can get an idea of what I was saying before about the quality recruiting they've done here. Diamond Simpson, another player who's traditionally been in the lineup for this Woodbridge Strikers side, not with the team this season. Traditionally one of the top defensive players in this league. Mayu standing over the ball now. Good to see Mayu not wearing the knee brace she's been hampered by the last several seasons. I know she's had to work real hard to get herself back into game shape. Knee injuries are always tough. And it looks like she's in great form right now. This is Corrado's pass being picked off as she was looking for Jess Lisi. Kat Rogers taken down there by Cheyenne Bauer. Chance here for a shot in towards goal. You can see Cassidy Jocelyn directing the two-player wall in front of her at the top of the box there to shift a little bit, but I think this is just a little bit out of the range for Kat Rogers, but I wouldn't put it past her. Kat Rogers, who had a fantastic NCAA career at Ohio University. She's lining up like she's going to smack this one, though. Boom, and shot towards goal, and that's what I get for underestimating Kat Rogers this stage of her career. She got some mustard on that one. But fantastic save there by Cassidy Jocelyn. Elton Pelea taken down as she charged her way up the pitch, but the call's going to go against her. Can't win them all. 25th minute of play here in just a second. Now I can officially say 25th minute of play. Don't know if you've had a chance to check out the new League One Canada app, but let me tell you, it's fantastic. Updated constantly here. April Syme trying to work her way out of trouble. Corrado able to clear. Murphy brings it down, head up, looking both ways. Gets it back to Corrado. And Woodbridge will slow things right back down again. Ball pinging around in the middle. Lisi brings it down. Lisi carving out a career for herself on One Soccer, doing a fantastic job providing analysis on the Canadian Soccer app and streaming channel. Chance here to give a shout out to our officiating crew, Hussein Walji in the middle, and the assistants are Adelki Fagboen and Peter Susky. Fourth officials John Morgan Pizzuti, and our match commissioner updating the Twitter and the app, doing a heck of a job, Laith Dabor. And yeah, get a chance to fire up this app if you don't already have it. I'm certainly using it right now to stay on top of who's on the pitch at the moment, as should you. 4-player wall lined up here in front of number 28. I wouldn't have known the name here if it weren't for this gosh darn great app. It's Cheyenne Bauer. Maria Poveda breaks off of that wall, replaced by Samantha Murphy. Murphy told to get out of here. Moving away. Bauer takes a shot in towards goal and puts a bit of curl on it. It's going to hit the strong foam ad over on the backstop and go out of bounds for a Woodbridge Strikers goal kick. At Rogers, I think she lost sight of the ball in the lights there. Poveda brings it down. She's looking sharp today. Murphy with the ball at the top of the box, shot in towards goal and easily dealt with there by Cassidy Jocelyn. Nodded on by Kimmy Lou, and it's Bonatti giving chase here. Ball onto her right foot, shot just whistles wide of the post and out for another Woodbridge goal kick. Crossed into the middle. Murphy giving chase. Puts it out off of Barwitzki. 29th minute of play, still 0-0 here, friends. My name's Pierce Lang. As always, bringing you the action for the League One Ontario. Garrett Peters disappointed by the call going the Woodbridge way here. Bonatti having a good laugh here about decision by the official here. Keeping the spirits up, you like to see that. Big shout out here to MSA for providing the visuals. My man Dimitri killing it as always. Although I'm still disappointed he has not brought my associate producer with him, Johnny, the World Encyclopedia of Football Knowledge Stancati, with him, but we'll be fine without him for one game, I guess. April Syme on the ball now in the middle of the pitch, being closed down, gets it out wide. Corrado with it. Bonatti switching play. Fabulous work there by number 21, Ida Maselli, to come back and break up that counterattack. As usual, you can expect a few more additions to all these squads, as we are still quite early in the season here. Certainly players coming back from the NCAA and U Sports. You can certainly expect to see Jada Thompson back in the lineup here for the Woodbridge Strikers when she returns from UBC. She had an absolutely incredible season last year, both in League One Ontario and at UBC. "12 games played, 6 games started in 23-24 at UBC. And we actually saw a former League One Ontario player at UBC win the U Sports Player of the Year award. $5 to anyone who can tell me who that was. Ooh, fantastic searching ball there. And it's Kohut giving chase. Kohut with a low shot in towards goal, and that just goes right past an open net. And Woodbridge lucky to get away with one there as Kohut put that ball into a very dangerous spot. All right, I don't have $5 to give up, so I'm going to be honest. It was Catalin Tolnai who was the U Sports Women's Soccer Player of the Year. This is Lisi bringing it down. Splits the defender, looking for Murphy. Murphy giving chase. Jocelyn getting it and taking her time to find Avery Thomas. Bauer pushes it out wide. Maselli breaks up that counter. This is Kat Rogers well up the pitch, bringing it down, looking for Lisi, but fantastic work there by Abreu to break it up. And finally, Bonatti able to clear. Ball goes over Mayu. Mayu giving chase now. That's one player that you know has got the endurance and the speed to chase down most balls in the back. I've already mentioned her. Boston Marathon experience. An accomplished distance runner in her own right. Hilton Pelea taking down Kimmy Liu. There'll be a free kick coming here for London. Abreu on it now. Chaya Denhe, another Woodbridge striker on that UBC Thunderbird squad that did so well in U Sports last year. Will be another one who's going to be returning here in a couple weeks. You'd have to think. So much talent in this League One Ontario women's top flight. Such a competitive division year after year. It'll be exciting to see how much the pressure's cranked up this season. Certainly with the addition of the interprovincial champions being awarded a spot in the CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup. This year it'll be the Whitecaps women who will be entered into that tournament. And if you're a fan here in Ontario, start saving up for those tickets now, because we're going to be having the interprovincial championships in Ontario this year. Finally, was in BC last year in Langley, and Quebec the year before that. Ball worked out wide to Berwitsky. Into the middle here for Rowe, who's dancing at the top of the box. Pops it into the 18-yard box, and Bonatti brings it down, but Fisher gets a foot in, and Fisher's back the other way. Maya Fisher with it now, moving towards the center of the pitch, and she was looking for Lisi, but a bit too much mustard on that one. It's going to go all the way to Cassidy Jocelyn. Fisher stepping up to intercept, but it was miscalculated by the midfielder, and London are on the attack. Maselli over the ball, and it's going to be out over the line for a corner kick here in the 39th minute of play. Assistant intern Martin Basil here on the production team, looking to find where in fact we are going to see the interprovincial championship being hosted. This is why he's only an intern, and World Encyclopedia of Football Knowledge Johnny Stancotti's on the payroll. He's given up here as Vanessa Fiore dives onto the ball. Sprawling save. He's confirmed that it'll be at Tim Hortons Field. I feel strongly that if we'd have left that task to Laith Dabber, that information would have been found almost instantaneously. The great thing about this League One Ontario, I shouldn't even say League One Ontario, it's the League One Canada app, is that you can get up-to-date scores from not just League One Ontario, but League One BC, League One Alberta as well, and League One Quebec. Standing stats and news. Pretty fantastic stuff, if you ask me. If you're as nerdy as I am about this, it's great. Even if you're not, it's okay too. Maybe you just want to find some stats one time. It's great. 42nd minute of play. The ball goes out with Barwitzki to put the ball back into play. Abreu with some fancy footwork, getting it out to L1O. Looks like we've got a mild discrepancy between the actual amount of gameplay and time on the clock, so I'll have that updated for you in a second here. Ball for Bonatti, just a bit too far for her to get onto the end of. You can hear Garrett Peters barking orders to his team, nothing out. Trying to pin Woodbridge in their own end, and they're doing an all right job of it so far. Lisi able to get the ball to Murphy, though. Pavetta onto it now. Stepping up again to win the ball back from Woodbridge, and I love the tenacity here from Pavetta. Pavetta, who had a fantastic collegiate career at what was then Ryerson while she was there. It's Toronto Metropolitan now. I wonder if they had to update all the diplomas when they made that name change. Fisher closing down Bauer there. Vanessa Fiore smothers that attack. So we're officially in the 45th minute of play. There'll be a 1 minute of additional time added on as a bare minimum as Pavetta goes back to Corrado. Big booming kick there from Mayo, and she's got Rogers chasing it down, but cleared from harm by Brianna Caldwell, the 21-year-old defender here for FC London. Ball thrown in there by Kat Rogers. Hilton Palea gets it back to Rogers. Rogers swings the ball into the box low and hard, but off target and out of bounds for a goal kick. And that's it, folks. That's first half of action. My name's Pierce Lang. I'll be back with your second half as we will return in a few minutes here. The score is 0-0 between Woodbridge and FC London in your League One Ontario match of the week. Go grab yourselves a Gatorade and a snack. We'll be right back. Hello, friends, and welcome back to your second half of action here in London. Absolutely stunning night here in southwestern Ontario. I was talking to Woodbridge head coach Dave Porco about it before the half started here, and he was just blown away by this weather that we're getting because it was not so pleasant in the greater Toronto area earlier today. I certainly know I had to pick up a rain slicker before I left the house and made my way down here, and driving in about an hour before the match, and it was just this gorgeous sunset and a cloudless sky. Clearance there by Corrado. As I mentioned, I was chatting away there with Dave Porco before the second half started, and he said it was more or less what he expected coming in here from these two teams. Thinks that it'll be a single goal that wins the game here one way or the other. Was happy with the play of newcomer Samantha Murphy, saying that she's smart on the ball, moves well. Thinks London are doing a good job of pressing, and he's going to have to play a few balls over the top and get his attackers involved that way. Unfortunately, my iPad died here, so I'm going to have to download that League One Canada app onto my phone as well. Keep you guys updated on who's come in and out of the game. Robin Scott came out at the half to be replaced by Charlotte Cromack, 17-year-old. I mentioned before earlier in the game that she was my vote for Young Player of the Year in League One Ontario last year. In the offseason, went on trial with Benfica in Portugal. She's back again here after that adventure. I mentioned she was with the Provincial Excel team a couple times this week already. And then also coming into the match is number 3, Lauren Rowe for Kimmy Liu. No substitutions for Woodbridge. Big booming kick here from Nicole Mayu. Michelli gets a foot in and no call on the play. Fisher gets onto it, whistles the ball in towards goal, and fantastic save there by Jocelyn. Big Cat Rogers to take the corner kick here for Woodbridge. Jocelyn collects and will slow things down here. Ball cleared by Bonatti, and that's going to go out for a Woodbridge throw. You can hear the FC London supporters on the megaphone in the background there. Fisher back to Pavetta. Back to Mayu. Murphy gets stuck in and gets away with what looked to be a harsh challenge there from my perspective, but I am not as close as our referee in this instance, and benefit of the doubt going to Hassan Walji, as he had a better look at it than I did. Ball headed away by Syme. Fisher onto Maselli. Abreu passes it to Bonatti. Bonatti charging in towards the box. Fisher closing her down. Shot in towards Fiore, and she'll watch that one go over the goal and out harmlessly for a goal kick. So yeah, I was mentioning that I talked to Dave Porco at half. I talked to FC London assistant coach Alex Gaspar as Garrett Peters was busy working away. And Alex was saying that it was a cagey start, both teams feeling each other out, and it was kind of what he expected as well. So I think both teams came into this one knowing what they were in for, as they're both such strong clubs. And I think I have to agree with the assessment by both of those coaches, is shot in towards goal there off the boot of Bonatti. Fiore with a big booming kick out towards half. Bauer got ahead to it. London moving the ball up. This is Cromack on it now, cutting back again. Broken up by Hilton Pelea. Fisher pops it up into the air and over half. Being chased down by Thomas, and they're going to go all the way back to Jocelyn. Barwitzky on it now. Abreu through the middle. She found Lauren Rowe. Rowe going back to Cromack. Big booming shot. It's going to whistle wide off the boot of Bauer. Shot in towards Jocelyn's goal is blocked, and it'll be no trouble for her as she scoops it up off the carpet. This is Bonatti on April Syme, a matchup we've seen many times here in the League One Ontario Women's Premier Division. This is Bauer on it once more. Caldwell going out wide. Cromack patiently waiting on it. Headed clear by Corrado, and another shot going well out over the outfield fence, and it's a grand slam. So I mentioned Jada Thompson earlier for Woodbridge. She was the forward of the year last season in League One Ontario Women's Premier Division. Midfield of the year went to Chloe Edinburgh from Simcoe County Rovers. Defender of the year was Zoe Marcassini. Was so fantastic last year with NDC as the ball's popped up by Maselli and out of bounds. And then it was Girling Tour, goalkeeper of the year, young player of the year, and so I say young player of the year, it's U20 player of the year is the actual award, and league MVP. Taking home all the hardware. I don't know that there's ever been a player who's won that many awards in one season, and very deserving for that young woman. I know certainly a few people have commented that she's certainly someone who it's a shame has not been invited into the national program at any level so far with the performances she's had over the last 2 years at least with Alliance United. Ball right into the gut of Maria Pavetta, but it's Maya Fisher getting onto the end of it for Woodbridge as she gets it out wide for Murphy. Murphy on the right side, stopping. She's got Lisi with the underlapping run. Pavetta on it now, top of the box. Squeezes it through, and it's going to roll well wide of the goal. Diving onto that is Jocelyn. I went through our sponsor script a little bit earlier, and one of the new additions to that list of companies that think it's important to invest in Canadian soccer at this level is the Cruyff Institute, who are really going to bring something exciting to the table here, because they're not going to merely be developing players, but also coaches, referees, and administrators and entrepreneurs within the game here in Canada, which is very exciting. Especially when you think about the new promotion and relegation system that's in full force now for League One Ontario, as we've got League Two Ontario, we've got the League One Ontario Championship, we've got League One Ontario Premier Division. Oh, great little touch there by Murphy to spring herself free. But just a bit too far in front of herself, and Jocelyn able to get to it. This is Maselli on it now. Maselli with it, still working her way through. Shot in towards goal by Lisi, and diving onto that is Jocelyn. Gonna have another substitution here in just a moment, as it'll be 23-year-old Doreen Anand Bediaco. I got the thumbs up because I nailed that one. Coming in for Maya Fisher. We're going to have a substitution coming in now, as I just mentioned. Maya Fisher, 17 years old, making her League One Ontario Women's Premier Division debut for the Woodbridge Strikers, and made a fantastic account for herself. Someone who I think you should really keep an eye on this year. I mentioned before, I've watched her a couple times with North Toronto last season, as that North Toronto development program is just so strong on the women's side. She's a player who really controls the ball in the middle of the pitch and did not look out of place here for the Woodbridge Strikers tonight. And we'll see what she can do throughout the season. As I did mention earlier, there is a requirement this season to get U19 players 2,000 minutes total on the year, and another 7,250 minutes for U23 players. As this league looks to go a little bit younger, again, we've seen more and more young Canadian female soccer players getting serious looks overseas coming out of League One Ontario. Certainly plenty of examples that we can call upon. I have to say, first and foremost, in that group is a player who needs no introduction to League One Ontario fans. Someone who made her way over to Portugal, scored her first international goal very recently. I think you know where I'm going with this one. She played for North Toronto. You know where I'm going with this one. The one, the only, Olivia Smith, still only 19 years old. She has just been absolutely tearing it up. Scored 12 goals in 16 games so far this year with Sporting Club de Portugal. I gotta say it with that little bit of flair there. Doesn't count. Another substitution coming into the match here as Gabby Cahoot's going to come out of the game, and Milligan will be making her way in today. It's funny, I got into an argument a couple months ago, as I tend to do on the app formerly known as Twitter. We'll call it X moving forward, with someone saying that there's no way players in League One Ontario will ever make their way into the Canadian national team. And I said, you are incorrect, and I don't believe you actually know what you're talking about. And lo and behold, Olivia Smith made her way into the lineup, and as I mentioned moments ago, has been absolutely fantastic. And that's the way it's going to be moving forward, I can assure you, because the quality of play at this level here in Canada is second to none. And you watch these players now, and these are exactly the players you're going to be seeing in Project 8, whatever the name gets changed to here in the next year or two, spearheaded by Canadian women's soccer legend Diana Matheson. So keep an eye out. Like I said, the Maya Fishers of the world, the Charlotte Cromax of the world. You're getting a chance to see them here right now. It's so fascinating to watch the development of these young ladies, knowing that they've got the world in front of them in the palm of their hands. Learning under the tutelage of players like Kat Rogers and April Syme who've been there. They've done it before. All pushed up to Murphy. Kat Rogers sprung onto it. She's trying to round the defender there, but Avery Thomas got to it first. Kat Rogers went sliding in for the challenge and was a little late. Benatti on the ball, getting it out wide for Bauer. Bauer chips it and played in off the boot of Barwitzki. Murphy slips a pass through for Misselli, and she gets taken down on the follow through. She's up to her feet now. She looks to be okay. Adjusts the old shin pads, and she's good to go. This is the new sub, Doreen and Badaiko. Getting it into Pavetta. Ball turned over, and London coming back the other way. Shot in towards goal, and just over the net. Off the boot there from number 16 in black, Allie Rowe. Still 0-0 here, friends, as we are in the 68th minute of play. Ball into Benatti. She's got it on her right foot. Stops, cuts back. Working her way to the left side. Gets it out wide. Ball into the box, chested down by Mayu. Kat Rogers through the middle now. Murphy with it, cutting back into the middle. Pops it into the air, looking for Lisi, but just a bit behind her. Abreu controlling it, finding Cromack. This is Abreu on it now. One step over, two step overs, back onto her right foot, whistles one well over the goal, and she's unable to get the grand slam by getting it over the fence. And it will be a goal kick for Fiore. Murphy looking for Lisi. We have another substitution coming in here for Woodbridge, as it'll be Naima Prentice White coming into the game here. She's going to be taking out Kat Rogers. Big shoes to fill here for Prentice White. Abreu on it now. Ball brought down. Ali Rowe dispossessed there by Nicole Mayu, and call going against Mayu. She's battling hard there. Dangerous position here for the free kick. Wouldn't put it past Bonatti to smash it in on goal from here. Cromack lining up well outside in a real sneaky spot as there's a 5-player wall lined up. Rogers and Fiore working in unison here to organize the wall. Bonatti over it. Blast a shot off the crossbar. Had Fiore beat. Tries to smack the rebound back in towards goal. Popped up into the air by Abreu, and the header's going to go over the goal. It was offside anyways. You can't get it much closer than that. Great effort by Bonatti, and it'll be Cat Rogers coming off the field, the wily veteran, putting in a solid shift here in the opening game of the season, getting 70 minutes under her belt. Ali Rowe once again. Another ball popped up into the box. Fiore comes charging out of her goal and makes a fantastic effort to collect that and slow things down once again for the Strikers. Relentless pressure here from FC London in the second half. Not to say that they weren't applying it in the first half, but certainly a change of approach as it looks like they're trying to catch Woodbridge with these high balls into the box. Bonatti with it once more. Slips the ball through to Barwitzki. Barwitzki out wide for Milligan, and Jen Milligan's cross goes behind the goal and out for a Woodbridge goal kick here in the 74th minute of play. Still 0-0 here, friends. It's the beauty of this fantastic game we all love to watch. It's usually a moment of brilliance or a moment of folly that makes or breaks a match for a squad. And I think Dave Porco said it exactly, well, maybe not verbatim that way at halftime. And Mayu gets away with a sliding challenge there. Shot it towards goal, and Fiore got a hand to it, but it's the opening goal of the game. It's FC London taking the lead off of the boot of Julia Bonatti. And it's 1-0 for the home side here in the 74th minute. Fantastic blast. And you had to think that that's just what the captain needed after smashing one off the crossbar on the free kick only moments ago. And it's 1-0 for FC London here in the League One Ontario home opener for FC London. Now we'll see how Woodbridge deal with this. You can imagine that the veteran presence will come into account here for Woodbridge. They've been here before. So we've had a couple other matches here today. I'm not going to go too deep into the championship matches or the League 2 matches. You can find those on the app. I'd encourage you to do so. Ooh, dangerous shot there. Off the boot of number 21. Arena non-Badaiko. I was saying, friends, a couple scores from around the league already today. Maybe I won't even have a chance to get to him because it looks like Woodbridge have decided that it's now or never with just over 10 minutes to go, or 13 and a half minutes to go, we'll call it, in the second half. But try and sneak a few of these in. Yesterday in the women's division, we did have the NDC Ontario ladies getting the clean sheet against Guelph United. Goals scored in that match. You'll have to forgive me as I try and work through a couple things here as I'm going through it, but Michaela Pascal opening the scoring in the 57th minute, and then it was Brianna Gaynor closing out the scoring. No, I've got that backwards. It was Gaynor opening the scoring in the 26th minute with Michaela Pascal rounding out the scoring with the second goal in the 57th minute of play. And then it looks like we're going to have a couple more League One Ontario women's games tomorrow, with Blue Devils FC hosting Alliance United, North Mississauga hosting North Toronto, and Vaughan Azzurri hosting the Simcoe County Rovers. Again, a few less teams in the top flight this season, as we did get into promotion and relegation for the first time in Canadian soccer history, with the divisions being divided up. So it'll be exciting to see how that all plays out. Yesterday in the men's division, Scrissapi were 2-0 victors over Sigma FC. There's Ferris Amari opening the scoring for Scrissapi, and then last year's leading scorer Tommy Skublak getting the insurance marker to give Scrissapi the win there. Today in the men's division, it was a 2-2 draw between Pro Stars and Alliance. Vanessa Fiore with the clearance there. Goals in that Pro Stars versus Alliance match. Dusan Kovacevic opening the scoring for Alliance in the 7th minute. And it was Milan Beater scoring in the additional time added on to the first half. And then another goal in extra time by Pablo Heppelman Perez to give Alliance the 2-1, or sorry, rather that the 2-1 lead. Sorry, no one scored 3. It's my first day. Give me a break. Never done this before. And then it was Noah Bickford tying things up in the 7th minute of additional time added on at the end of the match to make it a 2-2 draw in that one. Then it was Carter Robart getting the clean sheet for Guelph United as they were 1-0 victors over Hamilton United. And then lethal weapon Jared Agumang got the only goal in that match on a penalty in the 66th minute for Guelph to give them the victory. Match is coming up tomorrow in the men's division. Include Burlington hosting North Toronto, Blue Devils hosting Woodbridge, and Vaughan hosting Simcoe County Rovers. League One BC starting up tomorrow as well. So find all those scores updated by the minute on the League One Ontario or the League One Canada app. We'll get back to your action here as ball's brought down by Woodbridge. Bonatti battling hard to try and can hear that. Ooh, fancy schmancy there. Great attempt on goal by L1O. Was Martina Panaya, the last substitution that made her way into the game here for Woodbridge, who lost the ball in there for Woodbridge moments ago as Bonatti's hauled down to the ground just seconds ago. Ball popped up, Rowe underneath it. Syme trying to win the ball back for Woodbridge. Rowe with it again. L1O closed down there by Bokaya. Or Bediako, rather that. Syme gets it past Barwitzki to Murphy. Murphy closed down there by Abreu, and it's Bonatti coming away with it once again for FC London. Clearance there blocked by Murphy as she's throwing her body around trying to get Woodbridge back into this match. Got another substitution coming here for FC London. It'll be L1O coming out of the match. In place of her will be number 5, Tia Schaffer. Schaefer, rather that, not Schaffer. Gonna have to talk to the coaching staff about their penmanship here. Jess Lacey chasing down the defender there. Daiko clearing. Abreu whistled down on the play. Pavetta's going to leave it for Corrado. Corrado pumps it up the pitch, popped up into the air. Be brought down by Jen Milligan. Ball shipped up into the Woodbridge end and will be chased down by Bediako. Barwitzki put it in towards the top of the box. It'll be Cromack bringing it down. Cromack with the step over, moves to her left side. Still battling hard there, and the call's going to go against Hilton Pelea. Another dangerous spot for a free kick in Woodbridge territory. Prentice White with the yellow card here in the 87th minute of play. Spinati over the ball once again.
Yellow card issued to Woodbridge number 26.
Spinati gets it out wide looking for Cromack, but she's offside. It'll be a Woodbridge ball on the restart here. 88th minute of play. Corrado smacks the ball up towards half. Brought down by Prentice White. It's going to be a throw in just over half here. Prentice White to take. Brought down by Murphy. She's bodied off the ball. Cromack comes away with it. Murphy's going to get whistled down for the foul on Charlotte Cromack. She's going to take her time getting up off the pitches. London are going to hold on to this 1-0 lead as long as they can. Sand slipping through the hourglass here, folks. It's Caldwell getting us going on the restart. Syme, such a hard worker, so persistent and aggressive. What she lacks in size, she certainly makes up for in aggression and has been a standout in this league since she made her debut. I'm not going to say so many years ago, but she's been around, you know. She's 32 years of age. If you go onto this League One Canada app I've been talking about so much, you can even find those scores from the Oh, we've got our second goal here. It was blocked out, and it's Julia Bonatti with her second. I was going to say you can find the scores from you can find the scores on this app. How fantastic is that? From the futsal championship that just happened a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, actually. And it looks as though, friends, that FC London are going to come away with the victory. We've got 2 more minutes to settle things, but Woodbridge are going to be in tough to get themselves back into this one with so little time left on the clock. But I wouldn't put it past them. Dynamic scoring options up front, as we've mentioned before, but this FC London defense has been fantastic all game long. Samantha Murphy trying to smash one in, and here's an opportunity as a handball in the box opens the door just a crack for the Strikers. You can't take your eyes off the action for a split second here. And it'll be Jessica Lisi stepping up to take the pen. It's Cassie Jocelyn on the line. Allie Rowe putting a arm into the back of April Syme on the edge of the box here. Jocelyn waving her arms in the air as Lisi takes one last look at the keeper, steps up, smashes it low and hard, and it's 2-1 for FC London, but too little too late as the referee blows the whistle, and that's your final, friends, from Tricar Field here in London. My name is Pierce Lang. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this League One Ontario Women's Premier Division match of the week. 2-1 final for FC London over the Woodbridge Strikers. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.